You ever had that feeling that you're failing, but deep down you know you're just fighting a system that's stacked against you? That's exactly what we're going to dig into today. We're going to break down how the world around us, the systems we live in, can directly mess with our physical and mental health. And more importantly, why having to adapt just to survive is actually a sign of incredible strength, not weakness. And to kick us off, this quote from our source, Nisa Pasha, just hits the nail on the head. It completely reframed the struggle. It's not about you being flawed, it's about you being resilient. This idea is going to be the bedrock for everything we talk about, so definitely keep in the back of your mind.
Let's get into it. We're going to use a really simple but powerful metaphor to help us understand our own well-being. Think of it like we're finally getting a look at our own personal operating system.
So picture this. Your mind is like a high-performance engine, a really finely tuned machine. And like any engine, it's designed to run on a very specific kind of fuel. For us, that high-quality fuel is our personal values, our goals, what we truly believe in. When you're running on that fuel, everything just works. You feel like you're firing on all cylinders. And this brings us to a really cool concept the source calls mastery. Basically, it's when you become the expert mechanic for your own engine. You know exactly what it needs to run smoothly, from the food you eat to the boundaries you set. You're just totally in sync with your own system. But what happens when something outside of your control starts pumping the wrong kind of fuel into this finely tuned machine? This is where the world around us really enters the picture. Our source has a name for these external pressures: systemic constraints. And this right here is the contaminated fuel. We're talking about things like financial instability that pushes you into a job you hate, or rigid bureaucratic rules that strip away your freedom to choose. These aren't personal failings. They are limitations being forced on you from the outside. And this is such a critical point. When you're forced to act against your own values because of these constraints, it can feel like you're being a hypocrite. But you're not. Hypocrisy is when you voluntarily choose to go against your values. What we're talking about here is a forced misalignment. It's a survival adaptation. It's not a moral failure. It's you doing what you have to do to get by. You can't run an engine on bad fuel forever and expect it to be fine. It just doesn't work that way. Sooner or later, the whole system starts to break down. Let's take a look at the real cost of that. So in our metaphor, the engine is grinding, it's overheating, and it's starting to damage the car's actual frame. It's a total system failure. So how does that translate from a car engine to a human being? Well, first, there's this psychological strain, and it is immense. That constant tug of war between what you believe and what you're forced to do, it just churns up this toxic mix of guilt and anxiety. It wears down your belief in your own ability to make good choices, and it leads to this deep, profound exhaustion, like you don't even know who you are anymore. And this damage is absolutely not just in your head. That psychological grind spills over and takes a very real, very serious toll on your physical health. All that internal conflict floods your body with stress hormones, and that disrupts pretty much everything: your digestion, your metabolism, your immune system. Over time, this chronic stress literally wears your body down, making you less resilient and can even shorten your life. So what's happening here? Well, your brain basically flips into survival mode. Its number one priority becomes immediate survival, just getting through the next hour, complying with whatever you have to. It puts long-term well-being on the back burner. Those higher-level brain functions, like planning for the future or self-control, they get suppressed because all your energy is being used to manage the crisis right in front of you. I know that sounds incredibly bleak, but the damage isn't permanent, and the path to healing is a process that our source calls regeneration. So what is regeneration? It's pretty simple, really. It's the act of cleaning out that contaminated fuel. It's about restoring choice, restoring your autonomy. Because once you can run on the right fuel again, your own values, your own goals, your mind and body, the engine and the frame, can finally start to heal and work together again. So, how does that actually happen? Well, this gives us a clear path forward. It all starts with restoring choice, even in really small ways. Doing that helps rebuild your belief in yourself. And as you get that sense of control back, your chronic stress levels start to drop, which lets your body finally heal. And of course, reconnecting with people who support you, that just strengthens the whole process. So you see, this whole framework isn't just some abstract idea. It's a practical owner's manual for how we can support this regeneration process, whether it's for ourselves or for the people we care about. If you're the one going through this, the most important thing is to be kind to yourself. Remember,
What you did to survive was about resilience, not failure. Celebrate every tiny choice you get to make for yourself, because every single one is a step toward getting your health and your strength back. For any professionals out there, the message here is huge. It's a fundamental shift in thinking. The goal should never be about forcing compliance. It should be about enhancing a person's agency. That means you got to empower people, be flexible, and focus on removing the external barriers that are causing the harm in the first place. And for friends and family, your role is absolutely vital. You can be that safe space where someone can start practicing making their own choices again, without any judgment, just acknowledging that their past behaviors were necessary for survival and championing their independence. That can be unbelievably healing. And all of this leaves us with one big, crucial question to think about. If we know for a fact that a person's well-being literally depends on their autonomy, then how can we start to redesign our systems, our jobs, our healthcare, our communities, to actually empower choice instead of just demanding compliance? That's the challenge, and it's one we all have a part in solving.